There's a glass jar sitting on a wooden shelf in Lancaster County, Pennsylvania. It has been there for 4 generations. It costs less than $3 to fill, and it has quietly replaced every single product sitting under the average American kitchen sink. Most people drove past this knowledge for 60 years without ever slowing down to look. The ones who never left it behind are still using it today, and their homes are cleaner, their bills are lower, and their great-grandmothers would recognize every single tool they reach for. White distilled vinegar, 5% acidity, a solution so old that Roman legions carried it in clay amphorae across Europe. A solution so effective that the Babylonians documented its use for wound care, food preservation, and surface sanitation over 5,000 years before the first commercial cleaning product ever appeared on a grocery shelf. And yet, somewhere between 1945 and 1975, the average American home quietly forgot it existed. That forgetting did not happen by accident. In 1946, the household cleaning industry in the United States was worth less than $180 million. By 1972, it had crossed $4 billion. By the time your children were born, it had exceeded $40 billion annually. That growth required something specific. It required convincing an entire population that the simple, multi-purpose solutions their grandparents relied upon were somehow insufficient. That modern problems needed modern chemistry. That one product could not possibly do what 15 could. The Amish never received that message, and what they preserved in its absence is worth considerably more than the industry that replaced it. The first thing most people misunderstand about vinegar is the label. Walk into any grocery store and you will find 2 versions on the shelf. Standard 5% distilled white vinegar and a product labeled cleaning vinegar that registers at 6% acidity. That single percentage point sounds trivial. It is not. The difference in effective antimicrobial strength between 5 and 6% acidity is measurable and significant. But here is what matters practically. For the vast majority of household applications, the 5% version is not only sufficient, it is preferable. It is gentler on surfaces, costs less per gallon, and will not degrade certain materials the way the higher concentration can over time. A single 5-gallon container of 5% distilled white vinegar, properly managed, will run a household of 6 people through an entire calendar year of cleaning. That is one purchase. 12 months, done. Window glass is where most people start, and for good reason. The formula is simple: equal parts white vinegar and water in a clean spray bottle with precisely 1 teaspoon of plain dish soap added per 16 ounces of solution. That single teaspoon is the piece most people miss. Without it, vinegar alone will streak on glass that has accumulated cooking oils and atmospheric grease. With it, the surfactant in the dish soap breaks the film and the vinegar dissolves the residue underneath. The result is glass so clear it registers as absent. But the application method matters as much as the solution. The Amish have used newspaper on glass for over a century. The reason is structural. Newsprint fibers are tighter and shorter than paper towel fibers. They leave no lint, no residue, and no micro-scratching. The cost comparison to commercial window spray is approximately 92% in savings per square foot of glass cleaned annually. The stainless steel sink is the second application, and the technique is particular. Undiluted vinegar applied to a soft cloth, wiped strictly in the direction of the grain, never across it. The acetic acid dissolves the calcium and mineral deposits that create that dull, cloudy surface film over time. Wipe dry immediately after. The sink will reflect light the way it did the day it was installed. Moving inward to the refrigerator, the formula shifts to a 50-50 solution of vinegar and water. Every interior surface, every gasket edge, every drawer liner, wipe and allow to air dry. The acetic acid does not merely clean the surface, it disrupts the cellular membranes of the mold spores responsible for that faint, musty odor most households have quietly accepted as normal. That odor is not normal, it is biological activity. And vinegar interrupts it at the source. The dishwasher use is one that saves machinery. 1 cup of white vinegar placed in an upright bowl on the top rack, run through a full cycle with no detergent and no dishes. The mineral scale that accumulates from hard water over months of use is dissolved in a single pass. Most homeowners discard a dishwasher when the glassware starts coming out cloudy and spotted. That cloudiness is not damage. It is mineral film. It is removable. The machine underneath is often perfectly functional. The same logic applies to the washing machine. 2 cups of vinegar, run through an empty hot water cycle, no clothes, no detergent, once every 90 days. The soap scum that builds up inside the drum and around the door seal is the source of the sour, mildewed odor that has frustrated front loader owners since the design became common. Vinegar dissolves that buildup cleanly and completely. In the rinse cycle of your laundry, half a cup of white vinegar in the fabric softener compartment accomplishes 4 things simultaneously. It strips the detergent residue from fabric fibers, which is the actual cause of that scratchy, stiff texture most people blame on hard water. It softens the fabric without petroleum-derived conditioning agents. It brightens white cotton by neutralizing the alkaline buildup that yellows it over time. And it eliminates odors that survive even hot water washing. Commercial fabric softener was introduced to American consumers in 1957. Before that year, no one purchased it because no one needed it. A gallon of distilled white vinegar at $3 cleans over 120 laundry loads. A name brand softener bottle at $8 covers approximately 40. The math is not subtle. Descaling a kettle takes 4 minutes. Fill it with undiluted white vinegar, bring it to a boil, pour it out, rinse twice with cold water. The mineral scale that has been building on the heating element since the day you bought it releases in a single boil. The same method applies to your coffee machine. 1 full cycle with white vinegar in the water reservoir, followed by 2 plain water rinse cycles. Do this monthly. The coffee tastes cleaner, the heating elements last longer, and the internal tubing that most consumers never see stays free of the calcium buildup that kills these machines at the 3-year mark. Manufacturer replacement schedules are built around the assumption that you will not do this. Adjust accordingly. The drain combination is where chemistry becomes visible. Pour half a cup of baking soda directly into the drain opening. Follow it immediately with 2 cups of boiling white vinegar. Cover the drain opening with a folded towel to contain the foam and direct the reaction downward. Wait 10 minutes. Follow with 2 minutes of the hottest water your tap will produce. Drains that have run slow for years return to full flow. The reaction between the sodium bicarbonate and the acetic acid produces carbon dioxide in a rapid, pressurized foam that mechanically disrupts the grease and organic matter binding to the pipe walls. It is not magic. It is a controlled chemical reaction, and it is cheaper than a plumber's minimum visit fee by a factor of roughly 100. Weeds growing through concrete or stone can be killed within 48 hours using undiluted white vinegar applied directly to the base of the plant. The acetic acid lowers the pH of the soil immediately around the root system to a level incompatible with plant survival. This works on driveways, patios, and gravel paths. It does not discriminate between plants, so apply only where you intend the ground to remain bare. Ink marks on painted walls respond to a cloth dampened with full-strength vinegar applied with light pressure. Chewing gum embedded in carpet or upholstery releases within 2 minutes of vinegar application, no heating required. Sticker adhesive on glass, metal, or food-safe plastic dissolves on contact. Fruit and vegetables washed in a solution of 25% vinegar and 75% water show measurably lower bacterial counts than produce washed in plain water alone. A peer-reviewed study from a Canadian technical institute confirmed statistically significant reduction in E. coli surface contamination using undiluted acetic acid, with results registering at a p-value below 0.00001. That is not anecdotal. That is laboratory-grade confirmation of what Amish kitchens have operated on for 200 years.